we're going.
You want to have that answer first, or you want to have the demo?
We'll have the demo now. Okay.
Okay, and we don't have to forget the question.
Yeah, no problem.
So here you see what direct pointing means. So we've pointed to the top right corner. The cursor is in the top right corner. Point
Correct.
left, the cursor is on the left side. You never lose track of the cursor. Cursor is where I'm positioning my controller at.
Okay.
And that makes it much more intuitive. And just to answer that question immediately about the intuitive learning curve, we've tested the X and Y, so the cursor position, and we've seen absolutely no learning curve.
Really? Okay.
Especially also, what to my surprise, also with an older demographic.
Okay.
People, that category 55 plus, that's already some cases older in our definition. They know about a mouse and they know how to position it. So there was no learning curve. Where we did see a learning curve, if you go to more advanced features like Z and rotate, gesture control, then you will see that people have to get used to how to use the Z and rotate and flex.
Yeah, little intuitive, etc. But pointing and people have pointed laser pointers, etc. all the time. Yeah.
And especially the fact that it's direct pointing makes that no learning curve.
Okay.
That was a good experience.
Excellent. Okay.
So what you can see here, for example, this is a demo that we've made. So it's not part of our offering, the technology the technology sits in the remote control, but it's just to show what we can do. Is that, for example, you go to video, you have television, you have photos on your connected TV, you have games and internet. If you go to television, for example, a simple thing like an EPG, we get a lot of people say, okay, the EPG is just too complicated to use. We have to press too many clicks. We have 500 channels, and I'm just tired when I'm with 20 already.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it myself. We have Comcast where we're based. It's just annoying as hell.
Yeah. So here, for example, simple things that you can do is you can rotate through time just by rotating the controller. You can rotate, so time you don't have to click. You can take up the list and you scroll it up like this instead of pressing all these lefts and downs.
Okay.
And simple things again. It's not everything you do on a PC equally translates well to a TV experience. But for example, what we've done here is a simple drag and drop. I can.
Oh, well, it dragged it down there, I think. A little interference from the.
A little interference, so we can drag it here, and it records.
Okay, so you can tether it directly to like a DVR system. Some of the TVs might even have them in there now.
Yeah. So drag and drop is a function that responds very well with consumers.
People have been doing it since for 15, 16 years.
And another, I had just another meeting before. I said, well, I can press the record button on my remote control, but that's the whole issue of those things. Of course, you can add another button and say, okay, record. It's also one click away. But if you have interactive surfaces, you have all these widgets, you have record, you have a DVR. You keep on adding buttons because this is a static interface. So before you know it, we already have 60 buttons. Before you know it, you reach 100 buttons.
I mean, well, yeah, I was telling Mark some of the remotes that I've demoed in the past with like some of the screens on them, there's literally like 100 buttons on them. And they probably do a lot of advanced things, but they're not as interactive as this, as innovative. And you can't use the thing in the dark because you can't, when I have a smaller or, simpler remote, after a while I can memorize where the buttons are. When you have 100 buttons, forget about it, yeah.
So the channel up, channel down, you will typically be able to find them. And one literal comment I got from consumers is that we done with older demographics is that they told me is I have to switch on the light, I have to put on my reading glasses and look at the fine print which button I have to use.
Yeah.
Especially for those lesser used buttons, of course. And so what we think is if you put all those functionality on there, keep focus on the big screen, it's much easier to use.
Excellent.
Again, a simple and games is something that we hear a lot from both connected TV set makers and operators alike. Is they wanna and it's all about casual games. It's not about playing fancy Xbox or PlayStation games. But take, for example, a simple game like tic-tac-toe. Might be too trivial, but if you want to play this with a up-down left-right controller, you have to press a lot of lefts and downs before you can click. And
it's like a D-pad for an old gaming system. Yeah. It's annoying as heck.
And here you can just, it's more fun, and I think that the Wii has done a good job there. They've shown how much fun it is to play point and click, but also with gestures.
I mean, especially in terms of the, going back to sort of even the simpler games, some of the highest selling games on Wii now are like the simple like Wii Sports, like Wii Bowling and stuff. It's not, you have your traditional like Zelda and, classics that they have, but I mean, a lot of the simplest games that they have, it's like social community gaming to like a whole new level. That's what we was the innovator for that.
What we think is the key benefit of the uWand in that area, in the area. You want people, at least if you're an operator or a teacher, you want people to use those as services. So you want to lower the threshold of getting the people interact with games or play games or run video on demand. So if you have an advanced controller, which you don't have to buy another accessory, it lowers the threshold and gets more people to your games and increases the revenue share.
Yeah, definitely. That's what Mark's talking about. Actually, can you go over do a quick overview of the actual remote unit itself, or is this like a prototype?
So this is an actual remote control.
Okay.
But of course, if you have to understand, it's what we do is we license the technology inside.
Okay. Yes.
So we can build any, or our partners build. We don't, because we don't make the physical hardware. Our partners can make any remote control
for different TV manufacturers.
TV manufacturers,
okay.
Different form factors. For example, here you have a keyboard at the back.
Okay.
You flip it. You can do simple text and not so much text, but URL entry.
Okay, for like smart TVs.
Or search strings. We don't expect people to write emails or whatever.
Yeah.
But simple chat, etc.
Twitter maybe on the TV is big now too. So simple.
So, but in any case, this is a finished product made by our colleagues from Philips Home Control.
Excellent.
But again, we can build our technology in any remote control.
Because one of the ones that I saw on the online website from Philips Home Control is like the black sort of cylinder type one.
Okay.
I think there was displayed. Mark had it on that one over there. Yeah.
And I can that's something that's a more advanced one because it's there. We want to show off. It works with just 3 buttons or even less. It can
one. Yeah.
It can ideally be 1 button.
Yeah, that's what Mark was saying.
We've done consumer studies, and of course, you could do everything with 1 button. Or for example, volume change, you could do it with soft button on the screen, but people prefer to do that on a button because it's much easier. So,
but some of the technology, the demo, you can do the rotate, and Mark was telling about linking it up to some home appliance products. The perfect example is the light dimmer that he was telling about, rotating. That's just really innovative and really neat.
But I think our main purpose is, if you look at sense and simplicity, our brand promise, we want to simplify the remote control. If you look at this, it's already much cleaner remote control than a traditional remote control.
Yeah, that's like my simple ones back 20 years ago when I was a little kid, but so much more advanced.
Yeah. Of course, you can scale it down to 1 or 3, but that's pushing the limit a bit.
Well, anyways, it's been a pleasure, and thank you very much.